And
Yeah.
he made them go away. And then he was like, nah, I'm not going to listen to him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a jerk.
Dude, can you imagine that? Just a bunch of piled up dead frogs
Oh,
rotting all over the place.
dude. Taking them all out of your houses. And
Uh,
yeah. Oh, my God. That would be terrible.
After already like smelling dead fish for a week straight.
Right? Yeah. Now you're dealing with these dead frogs. Oh, yeah. It'd be awful.
If you think about it too, logically, it would make sense that all the frogs would start going up onto the land because they live by the water and they hatch in the water. So if there was like this uh, thing that would drive everything out of the water, like blood or algae or whatever, they would be wanting to get away from that.
Yeah.
So the
But it
fish
all,
all die off, and then all the frogs run away and go out into the land.
right. But he does say in the beginning of the second plague, let me see. Stretch out your hand with your staff over the rivers, over the canals, and over the pools. So they were also coming out of other sources of water other than just the Nile, because the Nile was just turned to blood, it says in that first plague. So they're also coming out of these other water sources that may not be contaminated with, the blood.
That's true. That's true.
But it's still really interesting that that makes sense though.
Hmm.
The third plague, gnats. Honestly, I don't know if this is any better than frogs.
Dude,
It's a
if there are gnats that we have a gnat problem at my work, and
Oh,
they are
yeah?
just awful, man. They're so annoying.
Yeah, dude. So tiny and gather in groups and
Oh,
fly around in your face.
and they'll fly up your nose and in your mouth when you're
Oh
talking. It's
god, yeah.
awful, dude. Yeah.
Fly in your ear and you're like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Oh. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the earth, so that it may become gnats in all of the land of Egypt." And they did so. Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the earth, and there were gnats on man and beast. All the dust of the earth became gnats in all the land of Egypt. The magicians tried by their secret arts to produce gnats, but they could not.
Dun dun dun.
So there were gnats on man and beast. Then the magicians said to Pharaoh, "This is the finger of God." But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. Come on, man. You should be getting the picture now. Pharaoh, you're being stupid. The fourth plague, flies.
Golly.
Oh, just as bad as gnats.
I'm glad I didn't live in Egypt during this time, dude.
Yeah, for real. And it would make sense with all those piles of dead fish and dead frogs and stuff that
Yeah.
flies would be, oh,
And let's take a moment to think about this too. Because we're like before we started talking about all the plagues, when Moses came in, like the Egyptians clearly didn't like him, right? Because they're trying to take away all their laborers.
right.
And then the Israelites are all like, dude, we don't like you either. You're making our life harder. And now he brings on plagues
Yep.
to make everybody's life miserable?
Right.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's one thing that I was wondering too. Like, is this stuff happening to the Hebrews as well?
I don't know. It doesn't really
Because,
mention
like,
it, but it's the whole land of Egypt that this is happening to.
right, right. But it also says, like, specifically, like he's telling Pharaoh, it will be your people and your servants,
That
right?
is true. Yeah.
Like, yeah, what's coming up right now? I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants and your people and into your houses.
True.
So I'm wondering if this stuff is like not happening to the Hebrews, at
Yeah.
least not
Yeah.
as severely, right?
Maybe it'll clarify it if we keep reading.
Yeah. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Rise up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh as he goes out to the water, and say to him, 'Thus says the Lord, let my people go that they may serve me. Or else, if you will not let my people go, Behold, I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants and your people and into your houses. And the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. But on that day I will set apart the land of Goshen, where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there.
There it is.
That, yep, that you may
Immediately.
know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. Thus I will put a division between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign shall happen. And the Lord did so. There came great swarms of flies into the house of Pharaoh and into his servants' houses throughout all the land of Egypt. The land was ruined by the swarms of flies.
Mm.
Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, "Go, sacrifice to your God within the land." But Moses said, "It would not be right to do so, for the offerings we shall sacrifice to the Lord our God are an abomination to the Egyptians. If we sacrifice offerings abominable to the Egyptians before their eyes, will they not stone us? We must go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God, as he tells us." So Pharaoh said, "I will not, or I will let you go to sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only you must not go very far away.
Hey, hey.
Plead for me." Then Moses said, "Behold, I am going out from you, and I will plead with the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. Only, only let not Pharaoh cheat again by not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord." So Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord did as Moses asked, and removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh and his servants and from his people. Not one remained, but Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also and did not let the people go. He's a liar.
Bruh.
You really aren't getting the message, dude? Like, you're being told these things are going to happen. They happen. You say, "Moses, please get rid of these flies and gnats." And then they go away. And then you still say, "No, don't let them go."
Yeah. After saying, "Hey, man, if
Ridiculous.
you get rid of these flies, because I'm really annoyed with them, I'll let you go out into the wilderness. But just don't go very far." It's like
Right.
Moses is like, "I got you, dude." Comes back. Pharaoh's like, No,
Yeah. What?
I know I said this, but
Man.
guy's a doo-doo head.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. So do you think that it was just the flies that they were separated from, or do you think it was all the plagues?
It sounds like it was just the flies based on
Yeah,
what we just read,
it does. Because
right?
that it only said that his people were separated when it got to the flies.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone's affected by the Nile turning to blood, right?
Right.
Can't really
Exactly.
get around that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, it does sound like it was just the flies in this situation. So, I guess that answered our question.
Yeah. Eesh.